In 1963, Helen Lieberman and other courageous activists responded to the unjust and inhumane conditions of South African apartheid by setting up creches for children and safe places for senior citizens in the Western Cape. Today, the organization works throughout Cape Town's township communities towards creating a more just society where human rights can be fully actualized. Their work focuses on early childhood development, after-school initiatives for children, and the well-being of older persons.
I had no idea, what was happening in South Africa. I was in a bubble. I had just left university. So when I went into Langa and I saw the horror of how people were living, I smelt the smells, I saw what their houses looked like with all the houses in the back. And then getting to hear the voices of the people and looking into their eyes and seeing their fear and sort of understanding the suffering. It was a huge shock because it was never part of my consciousness. It was never part of what I thought South Africa life was. And the journey just grew and grew and the country grew. And I think the big thing that I got to understand was everything that passed through me or through my hands was no more mine. And I could be like a parent and watch this wonderful success and the amazing movement and feeling of affirmation and self-worth and the power that people created themselves as Ikamva started to develop countrywide. And so here we are, 55 years later, and it's not about building an organization. It's got nothing to do with that. It's about building the human rights and the direction of others to be successful. And so we are only successful if somebody else is. And we don't own anything, really. All we own is the pleasure of watching people grow and being part of what we think is nation building.
It's not an individual approach to work, and it's about understanding how do we help those people in communities that are already understanding what the needs are and what the solutions are. How do we help them with resources? So our job really is to go alongside people, understand where people are working, and there are amazing groups of women and youth and people doing work to help stimulate the economy, the local economy in communities, to look after children and seniors, and early childhood development. And our work is to go alongside those people and say, how can we support them? How do we bring resources? And how do we tell your stories so that you get supported, not just locally, but also internationally? And it is about connecting communities and connecting people, even people in the street, so that they work together and help their own communities. And people have the solutions. They don't often have access to the resources, and I think that's the role that we play. But the solutions are there. Powerful and extremely relevant solutions are found in the communities.
At the moment, we have 385 educators that we're supporting on the Registration Help Desk program. And it's over 16,000 children that's actually in those educators. It's a mixture of formal and informal educators. When I say informal, I mean educators that's in the shack structures, Wendy houses, shipping containers. In 2010, we started changing the way we actually work with the educators, and we took on more development approach. When I say development approach, we started looking at how we could train practitioners in a very practical way so they could actually implement a learning program within their classrooms. So Ikamva Labantu ventured out and we actually developed our own learning program, which is now called the Ikamva Labantu Persona Doll Learning Program. It has a three-pronged approach. We have the practitioners come in, they are trained in theory twice a month, and then they come to our Kwakanye Educate once a month for the practical part of whatever they were taught theoretically. And then our community-based workers actually go and visit their sites every month to look at what they've been taught theoretically and how they actually can implement it within the educators.
The difference with Ikamva and other organizations is our relationship with our communities and what we see and hear with the community and how we immediately react. That it isn't an organization that has set programs. We sometimes tend to think we know what to do, but we don't know what to do until we learn it firsthand on the ground, and we watch and we see and we hear what people really want and need. So we are developing a whole load of new programs. Everything's very, very people directed.
So we've got 21 senior clubs. They spread across the Cape Metro. Out of the 21, the 19 of them are subsidized by the Department of Social Development. So each senior gets a portion of money to actually attend the club. Not they don't get the money, we get it as an organization, and then we use it towards their food and towards their transportation.
As sad as it might sound, our seniors are abused at home by family members and by grandchildren. And because of the high rate of substance abuse in communities coupled with poverty and lack of resources. So when they come into a club, you can see who is new in the club, but just by looking at their posture and the way that they engage, they're quiet, they're withdrawn. And then once they get engaging with the seniors, then you can see they regain their confidence, they articulate well, they dance so much spontaneously, and they just become themselves. Their personality and their self-esteem increases.
In this building, I met people who are very kind. They taught me how to do beadwork, how to do sewing. We are doing sewing. I improved in all things because I was then starting my 70 years, and it's not expected for an old lady to sew, to do handwork, to do exercises and all those things, etc. She helped me along.
It's very important to come to the club because they are sharing lots of experience, the seniors that are experiencing at home. You're going to find that the senior who have just come in to join the club, sometimes you're going to find that, I don't know why I came here. Yeah, they will have that questions, why I came here to the club. But you're going to find it that when the seniors are going to share the problem, you're going to I'm not alone.
This is our home. In the morning, first thing, we're having a prayer. After the prayer, and then we're having our breakfast, porridge. After that, it's tea. And we spend the whole day here, and we have friends, we have relatives, and we have children. Because Ikamva Labantu is not just collecting grandmothers, also the youngsters, the people that was coordinating for us. So it's just a family to us.
Coming here means a lot to me because when I'm at home, I wasn't supposed to be like this. Because we're happy here, I'm free from everything, I'm free from the stress. As you can see, I'm not well. So here, I can take it.
It's such a privilege, really, to be engaging with seniors. And they don't have much, but they share, they open their hearts, they teach about the spirit of forgiveness, and giving. They give and give and give. So if you're feeling down, you can come to Ikamva seniors. You'll never go into a club and come out the same way you went in.
I can claim very little at this stage of my life, other than just feeling this huge, huge happiness at watching how the others work. So today Ikamva is governed and managed and directed by skilled, committed people who are dedicating their lives to building the lives of others.
She's just an inspiring woman. And what I've also learned a lot about Helen was that being selfish is not in her nature. She'd always say, share information, share our ideas with other people. We don't have to hold on, for example, our ECD learning program, or hold on to our idea of the Umawani program, because the need is so great out there, and when you share freely with others, things come back to you. And clearly, all over the years, I've really seen that mentality, way of thinking, really does work.
So the Derech Eretz of Ikamva Labantu is to have communities that thrive, people that are deeply connected to their own development, people that are engaged in stirring the local economy and creating active citizenship. It's as simple as that. It is our path. It is the journey that we walk every day. It's our Derech Eretz.